Good morning. Welcome to CAPRI. I'm delighted to see so many supporters with us here in Taipei, and greetings to our online audience. Every May, our annual forum allows us to showcase CAPRI's research priorities, provide a platform for diverse policy stakeholders to exchange ideas, and amplify Asia-Pacific's voices on resilience and innovation. 4 years ago, we inaugurated our annual forum to highlight the resilience of the Asia-Pacific in a world facing many interconnected challenges. The theme of today's forum, a little bit provocative, resilience, risk, and reinvention, reflects the profound changes underway in the world and the mounting challenges policymakers are facing to continue sustaining people's livelihoods, adapt to evolving technology, prepare and respond to disasters and health risks, and continue to focus on long-term challenges like climate change. To do this, policymakers need both diverse perspectives and actionable ideas, including the opportunity to brainstorm and learn from governments facing similar challenges. Professor Harry Harding and I conceived of CAPRI to bridge communication and research across the Asia-Pacific region and to convene leaders from government, academia, and industry to address complex challenges facing policymakers. Through comparative public policy research, CAPRI aims to strengthen global resilience and advance innovative policy solutions informed by the diverse experience of the region. Our initial research, as many of you know, was centered on health system resilience in partnership with the World Economic Forum. And we have completed reports on the health systems of Taiwan, South Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, and 3 Pacific Island countries. Our agenda has since expanded. CAPRI's programs today reflect the complexity and interdependence of the challenges facing the region, starting with energy. We just embarked on a 4-year research initiative investigating how policymakers across the region are balancing energy security, sustainability, equitable growth to effectively navigate the green energy transition. In CAPRI's spirit of building platforms for shared perspectives, we are fostering a region-wide network of leaders working to achieve these 3 goals in their own countries and collaborating across borders to build a more energy-resilient Asia-Pacific. At the same time, technological change is rapidly reshaping our world. CAPRI launched the Global Innovation Reimagined Trilateral Conference last year in Copenhagen, along with the University of Virginia and the Copenhagen Business School. From these discussions, we have published a volume with 15 commentaries focusing on policy outcomes. You can find all of our research on our website, including this volume. This series convenes experts and practitioners
from Asia, North America, and Europe
to explore innovative policy solutions to the world's most pressing challenges. Next month, we hold our 2nd trilateral in Tokyo with partners from Germany and the United States to consider how policymakers can leverage emerging technologies and AI to drive innovation while preserving societal resilience. The main focus, of course, of CAPRI. Our annual trilateral conference will create an intellectual community that can shape new policy thinking around innovation, competitiveness, and resilience worldwide. In the midst of these programs, we have also established CAPRI USA, an independent 501c3 registered in the United States whose mission is aligned with CAPRI's. CAPRI USA is a key partner, for example, of today's forum and of all of CAPRI's projects. As we approach our 5th anniversary next year, the importance of international collaboration, exchange, and research is becoming even clearer. Independent think tanks like ours facilitate the movement of ideas across borders and sectors. Education and talent development are central to this exchange. CAPRI supports fellowships for students and graduates from Princeton, Stanford, the University of Virginia, Northeastern University, and many more. We have supervised capstone projects for the Harvard Kennedy School and mentor younger students interested in public policy in Taiwan. And I see all of them are getting up early and just filed in to the right-hand side. We are very happy to see more than 100 students here today once again. Student engagement is integral to our work at CAPRI. You, on the right side, are each essential to building an ecosystem that generates independent policy thinking in this region that will make our world better. As Taiwan's international student population continues to grow post-pandemic, reaching more than 123,000, we value the opportunity to foster fresh global perspectives and new connections with new future policy leaders. In this spirit of global collaboration, I'm honored to introduce two individuals whose guidance and expertise have been instrumental to our founding: Professor Chen Jianren and Jose Manuel Barroso. Professor Chen Jianren will be providing special remarks after the keynote. He's a distinguished scientist and public servant, having led Taiwan through the SARS epidemic as health minister and through the COVID-19 pandemic as vice president. He was also appointed to the Pontifical Academy of Science by Pope Francis in 2021. As a member of our preparatory steering committee while we were part of the Reform for Resilience Commission, based in London, he helped define the vision of CAPRI as an independent, nonpartisan think tank, and he helped shape our research on vaccines in the Asia-Pacific. Since then, Professor Chen has continued to emphasize resilience for Taiwan in an increasingly uncertain global environment. His leadership and perspectives remain an important source of inspiration for our work. We also take the opportunity to congratulate Professor Chen Jianren on taking the mantle next month as president of Academia Sinica, Taiwan's most important research institution. Along with Professor Chen, our keynote speaker, Professor Barroso, was also a key driver of our initial research in 2021 on the triple challenge of COVID-19 vaccination, a report that, again, you could see on our website. As we examine the complex challenges of vaccine distribution, manufacturing, and rollout in the Asia-Pacific, Professor Barroso spent hours on the phone with me, explaining the successes and challenges he was facing as the chair of Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. His insights shaped our recommendations, which he brought to the G20, G7, and the United Nations. Although this is Professor Jose Manuel Barroso's first visit to Taiwan, he has been part of us from the very beginning. In 2020, David Cameron and Tony Blair approached Jose Manuel Barroso and Malcolm Turnbull with the idea of bringing together policymakers, researchers, and private sector leaders to develop actionable solutions for strengthening societal resilience. They then invited me as a fellow Goldman Sachs alumna who had transitioned into the policy world to help assemble a network of leading voices from across Asia to contribute to this effort. With Jose and Malcolm's encouragement, I recruited Professor Chen and Acer's founder Stan Shi, who's also here today, to be commissioners and several advisors who could share the Asia-Pacific experience of resilience. And a year later, we took the leap to launch CAPRI in Taipei to focus on the interconnections among health, the environment, the economy, and innovation. Professor Barroso's career reflects his sustained commitment to international cooperation and institution building. As president of the European Commission from 2004 to 2014, he oversaw the expansion of the European Union from 15 to 28 member states and the implementation of the Treaty of Lisbon, which strengthened EU governance. He also received the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of the European Union. Earlier, as Prime Minister of Portugal, he guided his country through a period of economic and political change. his work has consistently focused on building platforms for global dialogue and cross-sector coordination. Thanks to Professor Barroso, a Taipei-based think tank was founded and is now seen by the world. In a parallel sense, Taiwan also became known to the world because of the Portuguese, who named this island Ilha Formosa, the beautiful island, when they sailed by Taiwan's east coast in the 16th century. Formosa became a common name for Taiwan on early maps, but over time, Formosa took on deeper significance, becoming part of Taiwan's identity through successive colonial regimes and later a symbol in the democratization movement. Since then, the trajectories of Portugal and Taiwan have had much in common. Both emerged from decades of authoritarian rule to become vibrant, outward-looking democracies, and they are both advanced economies that actively contribute to the international community. We are grateful for Professor Barroso's continued support as a founding member of CAPRI's International Advisory Council, and it is a privilege to welcome him to Taiwan. Both Professor Chen and Professor Barroso exemplify the cross-sector, cross-regional collaboration that CAPRI seeks to facilitate, to build a more resilient world with ideas from Asia-Pacific. Today's event would not be possible without the support of leaders like them, as well as the dedication of our International Advisory Council, our board, our senior fellows, and the entire team. With that, it is my great pleasure to invite His Excellency, José Manuel Barroso, to deliver today's keynote remarks.